I'm Ian Rush and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show. Second leg, Liverpool, Man United, 2-0 lead, going to Old Trafford. 1 foot apparently in the next round, Chris. Is that a dangerous mentality to have?
I think it is a dangerous mentality. I think, so many times we've seen over the years Liverpool have come back and it's not even been 90 minutes that we've needed. Look at Istanbul, we needed 45, we came back from 3-0 down.
We needed like 8 to be fair.
Well, yeah, for sure. And then another 20 to get us to penalties, another 30 to get us to penalties or whatever. But I think if Liverpool have got to be smart in this game on Thursday, and, you've got to play the situation in front of you. And by that I mean, for whatever the faults of Old Trafford as a ground, they'll be bang up for that, just like the Liverpool fans were bang up for it last Thursday. And I think with a 2-0 lead, they're the underdogs. And, as fans, we sometimes like to be in that underdog situation, especially going into a second leg with a deficit to claw back and stuff. And I think Liverpool have got to come out early, quieten the crowd down. I think that's really important. First sort of 10-15 minutes, really take the crowd out of it and then get into the rhythm of the game.
I think it's important. I think Chris is spot on there, Jim, that their fan base are teetering on the brink at the moment. Yeah. And much like what we did at Man City earlier in the season, I think you can take the crowd out of the equation if you just frustrate them, frustrate the life out of them, stop them from scoring, they'll get more and more restless, they'll start to turn on the players, and that could play into our hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big psychological battle, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing we've had against them for years. When Fergie was their boss, that was his big thing with psychology. The thing that if we get out there and score it... Well, yeah. That's,
horses.
Just a bit. It all goes together, doesn't it?
And pooing himself on the motorway.
Yeah. That's his legacy. But if we go out and score a goal, obviously they need 4. Yeah. They're out of it then. That psychological battle's won there. If they score, that's my worry. If they score early, all of a sudden there's only 1 in it. You know, and that away goal sort of goes out your head and you start panicking. So I think we've just got to have the right mentality from the second we get out there to like you say, to frustrate them. And I don't mean frustrating by like defending through the game. I want to see us frighten the life out of their defence because that will get their fans to turn on them because they want to be entertained. They want their teams to be entertaining. Yeah. And if they see their team backs against the wall because we're going at them, I think that'll turn.
I actually think that's spot on. Or because I've got here that how do we approach someone? Do we park the bus? But I think Jim's right. I've got no problem with it. If you want to go and park the bus, great. Go park the bus for 90 minutes. Have this heroic defensive performance. It's probably what Rafa would do. But I think Jim's right in so much as they're going to be looking for the goals, and if we fire a shot across the bow early on, that's going to make them think twice about how attacking they can actually go.
Exactly, yeah. And I think you've got to take everything into equation. Their attack, even though Rooney's not there, their attack's better than their defence. So you've got like Depay, Martial, Mata, the better players are up that end of the pitch. And I'd say the same with us. You're actually looking at whoever plays in the front line, Sturridge, Coutinho, Firmino, Lallana. They are better players at the moment. They're in good form, and their defence is going to be patched together from players who don't play in defence or younger kids. So it's kind of that thing of we should get at them. And the most important thing is because it's not a neutral tie, is it? Obviously we've got the 2 goals and away goals can be in our favour. We can really crush them. We could pretty much have the game over by the end of the first half if we went out there with the attacking mentality and got 1, maybe 2, you know what I mean? And I actually think because of the fact that we've got 2 goals and the away goals comes to the occasion, it doesn't matter if we concede as long as we're scoring. Yeah, we can really shut them up and go it that way. So I would be disappointed if we were to take that approach where we go there playing for the draw. It's always dangerous in football where you go there playing not to get beat by 2 goals. Or we can even concede 1 here and we can go through. That mentality seeps in, and we're so fragile. Yeah, I think at the back and our fans with our defence.
We're definitely on the way back, aren't we, Chris? But I think it's that thing of if they were to get a goal, our defence has been much improved. Yeah. That being said, you do always feel like if we were to rely entirely upon it,
there can be a false confidence. If they get 1 goal, our defence can go to pot quite easily, and I think the crowd gets into it even more and stuff. And I agree with Aubrey. And the thing is, when you look at what the Liverpool players have been saying in the run up to this game already over the weekend, Emre Can going, we need to go and score a goal. Firmino talking about scoring goals and stuff. That looks to me like the squad have got the right mentality because we get a goal, they have to score 4. And that's the easiest way to put this tie to bed.
They'll think they can do it as well, Chris. They'll have looked at Man United last week. They'll have watched the game from the weekend, and they'll think, okay, David De Gea is incredible, but he's not unbeatable. and we can, we've got the ability there to actually go and get that goal. There will be I don't think there'll be any fear from the Liverpool players.
There won't be at all, and part of the reason why that's the case is after 45 minutes of the game on Thursday, Van Gaal completely changed their formation, which already says Liverpool had the better of them in their best formation, and then we went on and had the better of them in their backup formation.
Yeah,
so
that was great. That change came in, just as they thought a little bit of a master plan. We're back in the game here. Klopp said, right, just do this.
Joe Allen come in, Sturridge go off, and then we got our foothold in the game again. And the confidence that will give the players that they know that our manager is better than their manager tactically. Yeah. They know that they've dominated them in 2 different formations. So it's a case for them of going, well, whatever they're going to throw at us this Thursday, we can deal with that as well because we've got the right man in charge and we've got the right players on the pitch.
Yeah, no ban for Fellaini though, Jim, come out today.
Doesn't surprise me though, because like UEFA don't really ban players that often, do they? They're very... I don't know, very laid back on things, aren't they, and not always football related stuff that they're a bit too laid back on, but it doesn't surprise me. And also I think after the game, Sean came out and said he was a good sportsman, it was just one of those things kind of thing, which makes you wonder, is he going to get him? Yeah, I think so, second leg.
I think, well, to be honest, I actually really like that, the idea of like, listen, I'm not rising. Keep elbowing me, mate. Elbow the fuck out of me and see what happens. Because ultimately, if you win, and who gives a shit? But I don't know. I'm a bit. It's despicable behaviour, and the fact let's be honest, they're probably a worse side for having him there. So it's probably not the worst thing that he's available.
I almost slightly disagree with that though, because I don't think he's a good player, but he always seems to step up against Liverpool. Yeah. And apart from David De Gea, I don't think there was anyone for Man United that was better than him.
Oh, true. But I mean, in terms of the brand of football they play,
completely agree with you on that one.
He is the typical FA Cup third round thorn in your side type of player. That's what he is. So that's their weapon with him. With that weapon is they can use him to kind of rough things up a little bit. And the thing is, we stood up to it. And as you say now, Emre just said, well, it's one of them things, isn't it? He wasn't bothered, so he's not let it get to him. He's not let it rile him. And so, let him keep him. Let him keep him.
Yeah, great.
Well, we saw that we retweeted a tweet from the United stand last week, and it was after the game, and it was like, give this man a 10-match ban, and they were showing the elbow of Fellaini because the United fans don't want him in the side. And ban him. So actually, they're going to be gutted that he's not been banned, and we're quite happy about it.
It's brilliant. Though, there's loads of that. You're saying like they don't want him in the side. They hate the manager. There's all other players that they're not happy with and stuff. Let's finish him off.
Yeah, no, completely agree with that. I think that's where they are at the minute. And what I'm kind of hoping for is that similar situation to the FA Cup semi-final against Everton a few years ago, where they were bang up front and they thought, look, anything's possible here. But obviously the fact that we obviously had to turn that one around, but the way that there was a sense of crushing inevitability to their fan base. Their confidence literally evaporated the second, not necessarily on the equaliser, but certainly when we scored the second, and they just kind of traipsed out of there. There was no fight left in them, and I'd love to genuinely love to do that to Man United more than words can express.
You're not just winning this one game. I think at the minute they're in such a vulnerable position. If you win that, you're not just winning this tie. You're winning a bigger battle. I'm
kind of hoping, Aubrey, that the result of the weekend that they had with West Ham, kind of knocks the stuffing out of them a touch, but also is there a mentality that creeps in of them thinking maybe this tie is a bit beyond us. We've got to focus on the league, and the FA Cup is still there for us as well.
I think it was the perfect result for us because you didn't want them to win and you didn't want them to win well. Because whenever in your life do you want Man United to win and win well? But also, I didn't want them to get beat because that would have been 5 in a row, and so I can't see them going 6 in a row or 4. If that had been 4 in a row, I can't see them going 5 in a row because they are Man United.
Oh, they can still win 1-0 on Thursday, can't they? That's a nice win in the win column for Van Gaal.
And again, it's like it also takes them to a replay, and they're the 2 teams that are in the league who are above us. West Ham and Man United have got another game to play, another game to focus on, and it wasn't a great performance. I thought West Ham deserved to win that game, so we got them to play a replay. There's that hoodoo of them. They can't lose that many games in a row out of it. And they were still not particularly good. Yeah. The fans shouldn't be happy with that performance. They weren't great. So all in all, I think it was an all right result for us from a Liverpool point of view, especially when we had the weekend off with it. Yeah.
So big question, Chris. I'll come to you on this first. Where does Firmino play in this game?
Well, it's interesting because the form that he's been in, you would say keep him in the position he's in now. And I think that is where what I would
As
do with
the,
him.
what, the 10?
As the 10, yeah. I think looking at his goal return since the turn of the year and the amount of assists, he's got 7 in the league, hasn't he, since in 2016. I mean, that is frightening from a player who's playing in the number 10. You know, and it's not that he's been playing up front. He was playing up front earlier on in the season. So for me, right now, we need to focus on getting the best out of Roberto Firmino, and that's playing him in the position that he was bought for and he's been performing well in. It's great that he's been able to adapt to playing the false 9 and all that type of stuff, but we're getting such a return out of him right now. I want to see that from now until the end of the season.
Yeah. Do anyone think there's a case to go for the Man City style away performance, put him in the false 9? No, Paul. No. There we go.
No.
Just me.
I wouldn't want to.
Go on, I'll tell you the reason why I wouldn't do that is if I was going to change the forward line from Daniel Sturridge, I would put Divock Origi up there, and I would have someone who's able to hold the ball up and let us transition from defence into attack. And I don't think Firmino's quite good enough at that style of football.
Don't forget Christian Benteke scored an overhead kick at Old Trafford last time he was there.
No.
No. Let's just know that we've got that to watch whenever we want. But no, let's not go back there. Okay, I want Jim. This is a new feature. You're returning to the show. Man of the match prediction. So basically, a player that you feel from both sides you think is going to be key to this result, one way or the other.
Right, for them, I think David De Gea is going to be the obvious one. He was the other day, and I think he's still probably their best player by and far. I mean, I saw a comment from a Man United fan that he looked like someone who, the other day after the match, he looked like he'd got on the wrong stag do or something. He found himself in Benidorm on a stag do, thinking, why the hell am I here? Like, and that's how he's looking round. So he's definitely their best player, and I think he will be. If anyone's going to frustrate us, it's him.
Yeah.
From our point of view, it's difficult to know. I think, but I don't know. I just see Firmino being key, because of his energy and his attitude.
When he turns up and he plays well, Liverpool win. It's pretty much as simple as that.
I mean, he's doing what. I mean, Coutinho would have been that guy maybe 12 months ago. I would have said that kind of thing, but nothing against him. But he's still not getting quite back to that level yet, Coutinho. And I think Firmino is at that level where he's been a big influence on a game.
Absolutely. Aubrey, what about you?
For them, Fellaini, because he's going to see red mist and just get sent off second half. Hopefully, not for the other reason of him just to do boss against us. And Adam Lallana.
Okay.
I think he's been playing really well since he's come back into the team. He typifies the work rate that Klopp wants from this team. Whether he's got the skill or not, he's starting to add a bit of end product to it. But he was times he was running back and tackling in our half, and he really harassed them. And I think we're going to need that to knock them out of their whatever their game plan's going to be. They're going to really need to buy into that gegenpress, and I think Lallana really does that well.
Great.
Okay. I agree with Jim on David De Gea for Manchester United. I'm going to be contrary on the Liverpool player, and I'm going to go with torn between Dejan Lovren and Emre Can, two players who had massive performances for Liverpool on Thursday. Emre Can in sparkling form the last 4 games. Yeah, you know what, I'll go with Emre Can. I think that, the type of game that it could be, I think he might feature massively, and it won't be from an attacking sense, it'll be from bringing the ball out and getting Liverpool pushing forwards.
I'm not sure that's contrary as such.
It is, because they never.
But we didn't say Emre Can's going to be rubbish.
No, I just went for a defensive player rather than an attacking player.
Okay. Interesting. I think we need to have a little discussion on the use of that expression afterwards, but that's fine.
How does your garden grow?
Yeah.
Fuck off, you fucking bellends.
There you go. Fuckity fuck. Is that contrary?
That is actually contrary.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think the defence. I think you're right. I'll go with Dejan Lovren for us. I think it's going to be one of those games where we're actually talking about the heroism of the guys at the back. And I know, look, Sakho gets all the plaudits. He's got his own boss chant, stroke mantra almost in the same way. But I think this could be the game where Dejan Lovren puts himself right up there in the fans' estimation. It's always those away performances where you really, that's where you get a song from and that kind of stuff. So for them, Martial, obviously David De Gea, but Martial is for me head and shoulders their best outfield player. In terms of skill and ability, he's wasted on the out wide, but when he gets into dangerous positions, he causes problems, and I think that could be a key battle. If he's playing from the left and he's coming in again, and he's gonna come up against Dejan Lovren a lot, and the guy who wins that battle is going to be on the winning side, I think, ultimately on the night. So there you go. Score predictions, Jim.
I'm really confident. And I was joking before, and I said 3-0, which is
What a difference a few months makes for Jim Boardman, by the way. Go on.
It's half-hearted, but I do think if we get the first goal, the floodgates will open.
Yeah.
So 3-0's only semi-serious, but yeah, I'm going to say 3-0.
Go ahead, up.
1-0 to us.
Okay, Chris.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Liverpool.
All right, I'll have a 1-1, where they get a goal, they think it's all on, and then we just score another one, and it's basically game over. We shut up shop, we're in Colo on as a defensive midfielder.
It's a troll, the ultimate troll.
Absolutely. Okay, let us know who you think are going to be the key performers for both teams in the comments below, and your score predictions. And do not forget to subscribe to the Redmen TV YouTube channel by clicking the annotation in the corner. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the match, and we'll be back with a live show. Yes, they're back in the build-up to the match. Stay tuned for more information on the Twitter account. Cheers.
I think we'll go with the 4-2-3-1. I think Jordan Henderson and Emre Can keep their places in the centre of the park. Here's where it gets interesting.